A warm hello and welcome to our ever-increasing family of viewers. Thank you so much for your love and likes. Before we begin our today's talk show, I have a question for you. Please mention in the comment section the most inspiring person in your life. I'm Anushri, your host, and on behalf of SilverZone Foundation and Worldwide Scholarly Alliance, I'm here in the gracious presence of Miss Anubha Srivastava, Principal, Delhi International School, Edge, Dwarka. Ma'am has an amazing career of nearly 30 years now as an academician, and under her guidance and leadership, her schools, all the places that she's worked in, has received a lot of recognition and accolades. Today, we are going to be sharing an inspiring story which will not only tell you the sea change in education that ma'am has brought, but also let you know education is something that needs a lot of hard work and dedication. Very warm welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing your story in your own words with us.
Namaskar to all the viewers who are here, and thank you so much for inviting me over for this conversation, which I think is going to be from the core of my heart.
I believe so too, ma'am. Before we begin, dear audience, I would want to share with you, the moment I entered your school, the atrium, the premise and your office, I felt certainly centered and very calm. यहाँ का कुछ और ही अलग है. Ma'am, I really want to know what is this magic happening here?
I think there's a lot to do with the Vastu structure of the building and the DISH happiness philosophy that we follow here. I have felt it since the day I have entered in the campus. And initially when I absorbed the positivity and the calmness in the campus, I thought it is just my perception, which was grounded time and again by many people walking in and telling me the same thing. Our building is a Vastu compliant building, which is the belief and the brainchild of the founders and the promoters of the school.
Oh, okay.
They very strongly believe in Vastu and the Indian ethical practices. And I also personally believe that these practices are very scientific. They're based on the physical science principles.
Really? I mean, from what I also believe, Vastu is an old belief system, or, I mean, does it have roots in science for real?
If you have not read, do read a book, Fluid, by Ashish Jaiswal. And he has picked up little anecdotes from different people, from different principles that are quoted in the Indian Vedic system, that are quoted in maybe different philosophies across the world. And he has dwelled into the practical and scientific aspects of it. I'll just take one example for Vastu. Let us say we do not have a basement in the school.
That's really surprising.
And in Vastu, basements are considered negative because whatever is underground is devoid of sunlight. If you talk of biological system, whatever is underground is the dwelling place for the decomposers.
Yeah.
And they convert the thing back to mud to complete that natural organic cycle.
I never thought along those lines.
Yeah. So whatever is underground is not getting sunlight.
Yeah.
Just one example to tell you. So you talk of the directions. The directions are having geomagnetic orientations.
Yeah.
That is one reason why the school is having a lot of positive energy around it. A lot of positive energy also stems from the very fact that our school's philosophy, which is reflecting in our school logo, we can see the school logo here, which is a banyan tree, is structured around banyan tree, having very deep roots with a vast expanse, and it is a home for so many plants, animals. It is a source of nutrition for many. It talks about longevity. It talks about deep-rootedness of language and the kind of expanse that deep roots can provide to the stability, longevity and growth of an individual.
I know about you that you are a person of many talents. I know you sing, I dance, and what all do you have under your hat?
I come from a family where all my masis, my mamas, they're wonderful singers.
Oh,
they were
okay.
known for the singing talent. One of my Mamaji was invited to become a radio singer, professional radio singer, and he declined and he joined IIT, and then he ended up becoming a professor.
Okay.
So when I sit with them, they tell me, don't sing. So it's my friend who say, okay, you sing, and I just enjoy singing with them because there's no one to judge me there. I'm not a singer precisely. Yes, I have done dance as a hobby. I've learned Kathak for some time.
Wow. And that's truly an art form to practice and learn.
Any art form. I did paintings. I learned different type of paintings in school. I was very fond of doing embroidery here and there, trying out my skills in gardening. So mummy would do gardening. I would try to do flower arrangements and ikebanas, whatever I would find here and there.
मैम ऐसा कुछ भी है जो आपने नहीं किया है?
Possibly we didn't have mobiles as children. So we've done everything.
So how was your childhood like? Was your childhood cohesive, conducive to your hobbies and talents?
Of course. That's why I have been able to have those experiences. We had a unit family with grandparents and parents. I'm the eldest of the two siblings. Okay. Papa would get transferred every year. So for us, transfer was very adventurous because we'll get a new house. We'll get a new place. That would also mean we would have new sightseeings on the weekends and during holidays.
Absolutely.
Around the new place. New friends would be there. New experiences would be there. So people do ask me that was it challenging to change schools every year? We didn't realize that.
Okay.
We have grown up as children where घर के साइड में जो आपके GI पाइप्स होते थे ना,
हाँ.
उसको पकड़ के भी हम लोग छत पे चढ़े हुए हैं. And
डांट नहीं पड़ती थी मैम?
मम्मी डांटती थी, पापा कहते थे कर लो बेटा जो होगा देखा जाएगा. So I've learned it from my father that never be scared of doing anything. So हम लोग ट्रिप्स पे जाते थे. पापा would give he would not step down कि रास्ते में चिप्स खरीदने हैं या जूसेस लेने हैं. So he would not step down, and for us as little children वो पैसे दे देते थे, जाओ purchase the things,
खुद ही करके आओ,
take the balance and come back. और अगर हम बैलेंस गलत भी ले आते थे ना, so he would tell us that see you have not done your maths right, you have lost some money, you could have got one more packet of chips, but he would never scold us for that.
You're a passionate environmentalist, you're passionate for plants and sciences as well. I know one thing that आपका जो previous school था, it won Green School Award for 5 consecutive years. So ma'am, how did this happen? What did you do? What magic wand did you swirl?
No magic wand. Any credit to the school is because of the students and the teachers. Maybe as leadership, my passion for plants and environment was one more streak that supported it. So my Masi and Masaji are plant scientists and very eminent and known plant scientists in CSIR labs. I grew up seeing them as my idols. So I wanted to become a scientist like them.
Okay.
I ended studying in Agricultural University. I was also shortlisted for a course in Germany on full paid scholarship. Join नहीं किया, वो अलग बात है. So my love for science and plant tissue culture and plant molecular biology is credit to them. But I have also seen my mother, who's a passionate home gardener. So पापा के postings में घर के आसपास इतनी space होती थी कि मैंने around my house I've seen my mother taking care of the paddy fields. चावल भी घर में हो रहे हैं, गेहूँ भी घर में हो रही हैं, अरहर की दाल, मूंग की दाल. No, I've seen them growing. उनके छोटे से किचन गार्डन में गाजर भी निकल रही है, मूली भी निकल रही है. So having that fun of going out, plucking it, washing it then and there and having it raw, वो taste आज नहीं आता है.
I can only imagine such a life. I also know that you have taught not only the elder children, you've also taught as young as primary kids. I mean, you've taught the entire spectrum, right?
I've taught the entire spectrum.
So, ma'am,
class teacher for grade 4.
Okay.
I was also given KG and class 1.
Okay.
And I think that was the most challenging class.
Why do you say that? They're the sweetest kids.
Oh, they are the sweetest. They are the most adorable.
Yeah.
So when you have had your background where you've taught the seniors, you come with the baggage of being a leader in the class, standing behind the table and giving the instructions.
Ji.
And I was not a trained kindergarten teacher. I was not an entity. I was basically a... So when I entered their class, I entered like the teacher I am.
Okay.
Giving them instructions and, okay, you have to do this. Now you complete this. Ma'am, see my work. Be there, I'm coming, and I'll go and see here. Tab tak wo piche wala mere piche, like, the chickens walk behind the duck.
Yeah.
So no matter what you tell them, and they would be very fond of their ma'am, and they would want to see anything and everything. Ma'am, ये line straight आ गई है. Ma'am, ये देखिए मैंने red color से किया है. It was not easy for me because my brain was not wired like that. Today, when I see all those things around me, I step into the kindergarten, I find it the most adorable class. But at that point of time, I think I must be in my 20s.
Okay.
And it was driving me crazy. It was really driving me crazy.
Yeah, that children can do. They can drive you nuts sometimes.
Because for those children, you do not have to come prepared with your lesson plan and teach the lesson plan. For those children, you have to be present in the moment.
Yes.
And your strategies, your dealing with the class has to change and evolve and get modified with the class.
I'm sure what keeps the teacher going is the love that she receives from those tiny dots.
Oh, absolutely. That is why I gave up my career in research and higher education and I'm back to school.
I know what a teacher is. I know what supportive staff means. I know basically a lot of things about a school, how it functions. One question that keeps me alive is, what does it mean to be a principal? That was my exactly next question. I mean, करते क्या है, दरवाजा बंद है, कर रहे हैं, what is happening behind closed doors?
So what you say, what is a lady doing in the house is what a principal does in the school.
Okay.
You name a thing that the principal is not doing. Just like you name a thing that a lady of the house is not doing in the house. You keep track of anything and everything in the school. You have to be responsible for anything and everything in the school. So it is not just the paperwork, the communication with the department. You have to keep an eye on each and every class, no matter how big the school is. You have to keep an eye on each and every staff member at all levels. Their needs, their emotional needs. What is more beyond a lady of the house is that a principal has to know the society and the world.
Okay.
So I need to know my immediate society, what is happening around me in Dwarka, what is happening around me in Delhi.
Why is that important, ma'am?
Because the children are being groomed for the society for tomorrow. They will be stepping out and they will be interacting with people within Delhi, across Delhi and beyond India. They will be preparing for challenges that are existing today and that are tentative to come tomorrow. Not just for their career, but also to be a stable human being.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you look into that aspect as well.
You just cannot ignore it. If you are ignoring it, you are just living in a cocoon.
The task on teachers in school is much more now. They are also substituting grandparents, uncles, aunts at home.
So पहले क्या होता था अनुश्री, हमारे यहाँ गुरुकुल सिस्टम चलता था.
जी.
The initial years of schooling of a child was done at home.
Yes.
बाल्यावस्था.
बिल्कुल.
After that, the children were sent to Gurukul.
Yes.
So there were children who were a community, who were a family together 24/7. And they were staying with the acharyas, the gurus, their families. Okay. So that was the family, which was a holistic family where they were learning everything. They were learning skills.
Yes.
टेक्सचुअल कितना होता था, उन्होंने आइडेंटिफाई किया कि अगर आप धनुर्विद्या में अच्छे हैं तो आपको उसमें चिजल किया, बाकी चीज़ें आपने थोड़ी करी
जी,
और आपने वेद मंत्र उच्चारण सीखे. बट you have not to essentially clear the examination of physics and social sciences and English and Hindi and Sanskrit and maths.
तो आप ही के इंटरेस्ट एरिया, आप ही की जो स्किल्स है उन्हीं को होन किया जाता था.
बाकी चीज़ें ancillary होती थी, which you would pick by virtue of being with the constant environment around you. So from there we came to the European system of education after the colonization of India. And then somewhere now with the national education policy trying to revive the richness of Indian education system, we are trying to come back to it. And when I say today the children do not have a family at home, so many of them,
Yes.
the school actually will have to become a Gurukul. Although not a 24/7 Gurukul, but to a large extent, the school will have to be a Gurukul.
And so what steps do you take for that to cater to this missing aspect in a child's life?
So we have DISH Happy Nest, as we call it.
Happiness.
Happy Nest,
Okay.
which is a very strong emotional well-being curriculum. Jahan, there are 4 pillars to it. Being aware, understanding, learning to say no, and knowing what to do.
And I think if a child knows all the 4, life sorted hai.
And it's not so easy when I say it, these 4 pillars, because every pillar has got 3 aspects.
Okay.
Myself, people around me, and my surroundings, which includes the society and the environment. So I know myself, my likes, my dislikes.
Yes.
I know people around me. So knowing is that I know the likes and dislikes of the entire diversity around me. I accept it. And I know the same kind of diversity in my society and my environment. So that is the first pillar, knowing. The second pillar is understanding what is acceptable and what is not acceptable.
And these are very difficult things and concepts to teach.
You have to break it down to a child's level.
Okay.
So once you, if I say you do not like being shouted at you, so you need to accept, and I also need to accept that I will not shout at you and you will not shout at me. I love red color, I do not love red color. So I know each other's acceptance and non-acceptance. And that comes out with constant dialogues.
Understood.
इसी में आपका सारा पॉक्सको के लेयर्स भी आ जाते हैं, वेलनेस भी आ जाती है, बिकॉज द थर्ड वन विच सेज लर्निंग टू से नो. Then, and there is nothing like right and wrong here, because we are talking of acceptance and non-acceptance. So when you say no, this is not acceptable, no. How to say no without hurting the other person. And if the other person is not accepting your no, the last pillar of our happiness is where to report, how to report, and ensure that our no remains safe.
Now moving on to certain fun part of our talk show. Is that okay with you?
Perfectly fine.
So I have questions for you. They are choice questions, okay? And you have to answer them as rapidly as you can, okay? So let's say I give you a gift of curiosity, enthusiasm, and intelligence. Out of these three, what will you give your students?
Curiosity. Curiosity is the genesis of all knowledge. As long as you are curious, you will keep on exploring, you will be a self-driven learner.
Fair enough. Okay, next one. Being a teacher principal or a biotechnologist?
Teacher, always.
Always.
Always a teacher. Nothing can substitute the love of stepping into the class. Today also, whenever my bio teacher asks me, ma'am, there's a topic I want you to teach, I'm the happiest.
Okay. So those smiling faces, those curious eyes is what pulls you back.
Yeah, the children and the love, and also the love for the subject.
Love for the subject, yes. Learning to learn or to find an employment?
Learning to learn, always, always. If you are good in your task, the employment comes running to you. I've seen it in my career. I never thought I'd be a principal. I'm sitting here.
And ma'am, now that you're already a principal, do you also continue learning ahead?
Yes. Me, all my teachers, all my didis,
Okay.
class 4, all of us, we have continuous professional development. It is a mandate under NEP, 50 hours of CPT. Whether it was a mandate or not, I believe it is a must. There are developments happening across the globes. We need to get in touch with people who are having differential practices in different schools.
Yes.
You need to exchange your best practices. You need to see what works best. If we get stuck at so many situations, sometimes interacting with people, sharing our experiences helps us grow out of the challenges. So there has to be a continuous learning, continuous upgradation, and it has to be in diverse field, never in our own subject field.
Okay. So for that, do you hold in-house workshops, programs, or do you also outsource them or go out of the premises?
The entire spectrum.
Okay.
I invite resource person from outside also. We do CBSE capacity building, obviously.
For which you are also you play a significant role in that capacity also.
Yeah, I'm also a trainer and a resource person for CBSE.
Yeah.
I send my teachers to different schools. I send my teachers to different platforms. I always push them to go to places wherever they can, to participate, to just be an audience, learn and come back.
Do you also learn from your students? Do you take feedback from students as well?
We take a 360-degree feedback. My spectrum of student council team is very vast. It exceeds 100.
Oh, okay.
If I take from primary to senior secondary level, and right from class 3 onwards, there's a representative in each class. We take feedback from them. We give them mentorship, how to do different tasks, how to monitor little tasks that are given to you. And they're the best person to come and tell us what are the gap areas.
Absolutely. Okay, so the next question for you is, the world today needs more empathizers or sympathizers?
Empathizers. Empathy is when you start feeling what the other person feels. We need to feel each other. We need to be more human than being mechanical.
Yes, ma'am, rightly said so. So Anubha, the principal, or Anubha, the environmentalist?
Anubha, the human.
Anubha, the human. Okay. So you see yourself as a blend of both?
So I see myself as a person having, you've just given me two choices.
Okay.
Why to choose between the one? And I think principalship is something that is related to my profession, which I have to do as a job.
Mm-hmm.
For me, if I say passion, educator, being an academician, being able to develop pedagogy which is better for a child, being able to contribute to the environment, being able to enjoy music, being able to enjoy various art forms, dance and theatre and all. So, why to choose between the two?
True. So my question is something I need to work upon. Sage on stage or facilitator?
Facilitator.
And so how do you get to do that in your school?
I do not lead. I work democratically. Even if I have a thought on my cards, I bring the entire team of coordinators together. I place it on the table. I take all the inputs and if we decide. It's never I decide.
So that's
my doors are open. They can walk in wherever they are getting stuck. You'll never find a person sitting outside my office and nobody needs to take permission to walk in.
Okay. So you're very approachable and it's a easy walk-in system that you have.
Yes.
Assessments in school or outsourced or a mix of both?
Mix of both, always.
Okay. And how does it help in student feedback of learning?
So when I do assessment in school, that will be teacher-centric. Who's taking the assessment?
Okay.
That will also be population-centric because the assessment will be within the population of the school, the limited number of students. That is also important. That is very important for us to know the school community and how we are progressing with the kind of goals we have. When I say outside the school system, because I take a blend of both. The school is very proactive in implementing different Olympiads in the school. And these kind of assessments bring in two dimensions. One, it gives the children a platform to compete with their age group of children across the nation, across the globe.
Yes.
Second, it brings to the children and to my teachers also the age-specific spectrum of questions that possibly we might have missed.
True.
That may be beyond the textbook, but that relates to that level of understanding of the children. So that is also very important. And at the same time, there's a little fine line that I would like to mention here specifically for the parents. It is not necessary, it is not required for the children to score well in Olympiads or to gain recognitions or certifications.
add-on.
It's just an add-on. There are some children who are academic learners. There are some children who are artistic learner. The other children are sports learner. So let us respect that.
So with that, I have another question for you. What, according to you, is the most underrated subject?
Arts. And when I say arts, it is music, art, dance. For that matter, physical education, the people have started giving value to physical education because the medals and certification in physical education gives them an edge in college admissions.
Yeah, that's true.
But that should not be the reason. These are the subjects which make you more human, which we have got a right brain and a left brain.
Yes.
And a simultaneous development of both the brains is very important for success. I'll again come back to the book that I mentioned, Fluid by Ashish Jaiswal. This is the second time I'm mentioning this book because I fell in love with this philosophy that has been taken up with examples in this book. And you pick up any person, be it Einstein, be it Rabindranath Tagore, be it Mahatma Gandhi, be it Ramanujan, you will find that there was a perfect blend and perfect usage of the left and the right brains. So the artistic activities are really underrated. They're very important.
Ma'am, what I see is the thoughts that are coming out of you is coming from experience. So I think you're still not telling us what all arts and skills and talents do you have.
I do anything and everything, Anushri. Okay. You never think I've not done. I've done theatre, I've done dance, I write articles. अब तो बहुत कम हो गया है, टाइम नहीं मिलता. Otherwise, I used to write poems also. My poems were published in some from 10th standard. They are being published in various magazines.
And you've not been telling this to us. You've been hiding this fact about you.
Those who know me, they know about it. On and off, I keep on putting my poems on the social media also.
Okay, is that so? So I know a task for me. Then I'll go back home and stalk you on social media and read all your poems then. So ma'am, for now, would you be kind enough to share your any of your favorite poems with us?
Tough to say favorite. Okay. There are different ones that are favorite for different reasons. But at this platform, I would love to take a poem which I titled Man Man Ki Baatein. I generally write in Hindi.
Okay.
And it is close to me because it talks of different emotional angles and the way our thoughts are wired, because our perspectives decide what we are doing. I'll request you to allow me to refer to it because otherwise I'll miss out on the lines or something.
Absolutely.
So possibly I'll have to open my...
I'm feeling so lucky to be just here and listening to you read your poems for us.
So it reads, Man Man Ki Baatein. The entire world is within our mind. So मन की लेकर खूब शिकायत, मन के आगे बैठा है मन. मन के ही थोपे आरोपों से आहत एक बालक सा मन. मन ही मन का करता मंथन, मन भर मनकों से भर भर. लम्हे उम्र जेब से निकले, कुछ गम के, कुछ नम से. खिले खिले कुछ और कुछ मन से, चंचल अनुपम पारस पल से. If this English Hindi is a little too difficult for the audience. करे विवेचन स्व आलोकन, कभी ठहरता और कभी चपल. पारखी मन, कुछ हटी भी मन. न्यायाधीश मन, आरोपी मन, मन की कैद में बंदी भी मन. धीर धरे और कभी अधीर मन, प्रीत करे और कभी कुटिल भी मन. 100 दिन में स्वांग रचाए, 100 बातों से भरमाए. हार कभी तो करे स्वीकार मन, कभी क्रुद्ध करे कटु प्रहार मन. छलनी कभी रौद्र कभी वाणी, मन की बातें मन नहीं जानी. एक मेरे संग रहता है मन, एक खोया सा जाने कहाँ मन. एक तेरे संग भी है डोले, जाने कैसे भेद ये खोले। मोह पाश में किसको बांधे, सोता जाकर किसके कांधे। कौन कैद में बांध सका मन, कौन मुकदमा थाम सका मन। एक पल बैठा रूठा सा मन, एक पल सहमा हारा सा मन। एक मन चोट तुझे पहुँचाए, एक मन विवश घाव सहलाए। खुद से भी तो हारा सा मन, कोमल और बेचारा सा मन। मन की लेकर खूब शिकायत, मन के आगे बैठा है मन। मन के ही थोपे आरोपों से आहत एक बालक सा मन। So this is what we are. We live in the trap of our own thoughts.
Yes, we do. We do. And I think as teachers, we need to identify students, who are dealing with this cycle, this endless cycle. What do you say, ma'am?
We need to talk to our children a lot about emotions. We need to narrate a lot of stories to the children. Stories, the fantasy stories, the folk stories, the fairy tale stories. There is a lot of emotion in them, and we should emote the stories. We should not blatantly just narrate the stories.
Ma'am, what inspired you to write such beautiful? I'm still in that zone. आपकी मैं बात सुन जरूर रही हूँ, but the lines of your poem are running in my mind right now. You've actually defined such perspectives, such different angles, जिससे हमारा मन चलता है या हमें, what inspired you to write this?
I think must have been some moment with a friend or someone जहाँ से trigger होता है कुछ, and then you keep on adding thoughts to it. I will not be able to precisely remember what exactly happened when I wrote this poem, but I do remember that when we were having discussions somewhere, I got stuck at certain perspectives, and I realized that it is all the way I am perceiving it and the way the other person is perceiving me is bringing out the differences. तो फिर उसके बाद झगड़ा भी होता है, उसके बाद जाकर के हम मनाते भी हैं, और वो सब कुछ हमारे ही अंदर चल रहा है. And if we can come out of that, what is going on inside us, तो हम लोग एक न्यूट्रल जोन में हैं, फिर कोई डिफरेंसेस नहीं है. Then you are there and I'm there, and we are two people with differences who have to hold hands and walk together.
Yeah, we can exist regardless of the differences. Wonderful, ma'am, wonderful. इतना डेप्थ आपने इस पोएम में डाला है. I am going to take this with me when I move out of this room.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your story, your anecdotes, your interesting life, all your hobbies, your philosophy with us. I'm sure the audience is going to learn so much from you today.
I'll be very happy if I can give anything to the society. I am in the school system because I want to do something for the society. And the doors of Delhi International School Edge Happiness are open for all.
I'm going to
walk in for the experience.
I'm going to take this term with me, this happy nest. I can see the birds flying. So when the children graduate from the school, they're actually moving out of their happy nest into the world, right?
Yeah. So when I talk about the school, my school has a lot of first in Dwarka that I can talk of. We have the first space lab in Dwarka. We have the only heated swimming pool in and around, so we give round the year swimming. We have all those new things that are required. We have a robotics lab, artificial intelligence, AR, VR, all those things we have been able to procure and give it to the children in the curriculum. But for me, from within, what is most important is giving them that holistic spectrum and giving them a happiness.
Happiness is going to be, I'm going to take this word and this feeling with me when I move out. I can feel it. मैं तो यहाँ की student भी नहीं हूँ, but I can already feel that I'm part of this experience.
Thank you, Anushree. I'm glad. I'm really glad.
So with that, audience, we come to a very exciting end to our interesting conversation with ma'am. I have learned a lot, and I'm sure you also will be taking away some inspiring learnings from this conversation. Thank you for sticking with us to the end. If you like our content, please do share and subscribe. Thank you.